Here we go. Here we go. Let me turn that off. Get things set and ready to go. Things set and ready to go. I'm a little tardy, but y'all know how it is. Y'all used to it by now. But I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna establish a little more order in my life, as Ike says. Establish a little more order. Be more orderly and start on time. But either way it go, let's get this thing going. Let's get this thing started. I'd like to thank everybody for coming on through. Got a good one for you today. We'll be reviewing one of Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews videos he just recently did where he was talking to a married woman about body count, hoax, H phase, and all of that stuff. So it was an interesting conversation. I just want to give my thoughts on it. So we're going to be getting it going. So let's get ready to go. Let's get it started. Let's get it.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mumia Obsidian Ali. You know who I am. I need no introduction, right? And you're listening to the Grown Man Hour with my man Bernard Riley, heard weekdays right here on YouTube. What do you think about that? How about that? Now let's get back on with the show. Thank you.
All right. Let's get it. I'd like to thank everybody for coming. Trying to get comfy. Still trying to get comfy. I'd like to thank everybody for coming on in today. Make sure you hit that like button on your way in. Make sure you hit that like button on the way in, and I'm about to make sure I hit it my damn self, because I'll be the last one to do it sometimes. So I'm about to make sure that I hit the like button. 62 people in here, 27 on the likes. That's at half. But it should be higher, because I know those that make it in bright and early are those that actually rock with me. So shout out to all of you who rock with me. Appreciate each and every one of you. We got Excalibur in the building. Came through bright and early. Appreciate you. Deadly River, shout out to you. Says Bernard's all kinds of late today. We're not going to talk about that. That is that which we don't speak of. That is that which we don't speak of. Black Wolf in the building says, let's go, baby. See the God in the building with the fist in the air. Devil's Bane in the building says, "Yo, Devil's Bane. Salute all. Deacon Dave in the building. Shout out to you. Before the Billions." That's a nice name. Before the Billions. This is me. This is who I was before the billions. Before I made the money. I think that's what he mean. Before the billions. That's a nice name. BK Hammer in the building. Dusty Shackleford. Man, y'all in these YouTube names. God damn. Y'all be really clowning with these YouTube names. Golden Child in the building. Shout out to you, the Mac the Trucker, Daryl L the second. Before the billions says hit the like button. My man Pablo Fresco Bar in the building. Scrolling all the way down, missed a few people, but it's all right. Leo Anthony in the building. Titan. Paul Pistachio. I got a bag of pistachios actually. I like pistachios. They're pretty good. Pistachios are pretty good. They keep you when you're trying not to be overeating. Get something like pistachios. If you eat them like me and you suck on the outside of the shell, suck the salt off of the shell, and then crack them open with your teeth while it's in your mouth, and then you get to take it off the shells, and then eat on the seed, the nut, or whatever the hell. That's all that can sound nasty, and the need for no homo to be said, but if you do that, it's like it's tedious and it occupies your time and make you feel like you're eating when you really ain't eating nothing but a little bitty thing. I used to do that on my lunch breaks back when I worked for the man. Yeah, okay, y'all hit me with all the pauses. Okay, I got it. I paused. Calm down. I paused myself. Y'all don't gotta try to catch me. Stop it. Stop typing pause in there. I caught myself. I understood where it was going. I understood this was going nowhere fast. So I tried to. You never know. I'm changing my name after that pistachio monologue. Man, cut it out, man. All I'm saying is I like pistachios. They're very tedious to eat. And when you're trying not to be pigging out on something, on food, when you're trying to cut back, getting something like pistachios and sunflower seeds is a good tactic because the tedious nature that it takes of eating them. And if you do it like I do, yes, you do put the whole put it in your mouth and you remove the. All right, I'm not gonna. I have a method. Put it like that. I have a method when it comes to eating pistachios, and we're just gonna leave it there. We're just going to leave it there. Oh, y'all are horrible people. Y'all are horrible people. Horrible, horrible, horrible. See, I like that. When it's like that, the picture is bigger. But it looks cool when it's in a bubble. But the picture ain't as big. I think I'm gonna stick to the norm. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick to the norm. Yep, that's cool. I like it to be big. I like your name to be in lights. I like the names to be in lights. But I wanted it bigger. Just me and Jazzy put up a different picture. I wanted to see if she was naked in this one too. But anyway, Nick O says, congrats on the success the Patreon has been having. Also, much respect to the audience for coming through for a fellow black content creator. Big win for black men. Absolutely, absolutely. The Patreon been jumping. Shout out to all of my new Patreons. I think the list is updated. I'm gonna keep that list updated as humanly possible. I'm going to keep that list updated to make sure that everybody who becomes a Patreon is thoroughly acknowledged. So the list is up to the minute. I've been gradually picking up new Patreons as we go. So yeah, big ups and shout out to you. I think somebody joined the Patreon. Somebody named Cedric. And then then I don't see his name on the actual Patreon list. On the actual list when I go to Patreon. So I don't know what's up with that. I'm trying to figure that one out. So that's one person who's not on the list. I got an email that he joined, but I can't see him there. So it's a weird thing going on. But either way, Infinity Meg says, missed a few shows. Here's here to pay homage. Thank you very much. And I'm gonna pay some homage. I'm gonna pay some homage. Yeah, for putting 5 on it. Yes, I gotta put 5 on it effect. I got a few effects now. Just a few. Just a few. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Appreciate you putting 5 on it. Appreciate you putting 5 on it. Thank you for that. But all right, we about to get into it. Or as Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews says, let's get active. We're about to get active. I'm gonna be we're gonna be reviewing Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews conversations because he had a show where he didn't exactly review. He didn't do a review like he normally does. He did a conversation. Something I think he grew his channel on, and I may steal that method someday. He would have a woman in studio, and they sit there, talk, they chop it up, and ask, have conversations about what goes on in the manosphere. And I do enjoy those conversations. I do enjoy women who may not be, for example, when we talking to, or I mean, when y'all talking to, I'm not gonna front. I've had conversations with the likes of Sisterhood George on my show. I haven't talked to her in a while. Ever since she went Super Saiyan Hyena on some other panel, I just excommunicated her for a little bit. She's in a long time out, but she went full Super Saiyan Hyena, and I just was like, okay, I gotta take a can't be he and hawn with them after they show their fangs like that. You just gotta give some distance. You gotta give some distance. Y'all can still go down in the snake pit, the hyena pit, if you will, but I'm showing a little distance for now. But so here's the deal. When we talking to somebody like them who are well versed in these manosphere talking points and arguments and all of that, it turns into it can turn into a monotonous, I think I said that word right, chess match where they kind of know what the argument is. You kind of know what their counter argument is. You might hit them with something that makes sense. They try to smuggle in some effery under the table and hope don't nobody notice. And then they throw off the conversation, and then the mic can get passed to the wrong dude who don't see the effery, and then the conversation just get weird. But it's kind of all over the place. It's kind of all over the place. But when you bring in somebody who's not as well versed in manosphere talking points to where they're not just sitting there with their guard up trying to smuggle trying to slip in effery as much as they possibly can because they know where the conversation is going, it can turn into a more genuine conversation. Just bring in it's a random person, and then you hear more random clear thought, well, not so clear sometimes, but more random clear thoughts of what this particular woman actually think, and not her trying to counter manosphere talking points that she's already heard. You understand what I'm saying? You hear raw information, so to speak, a raw thought process, and I like that. So that's why I definitely enjoy when he brings in women and have those conversations with them. It's definitely something I can watch and enjoy. He says something can't matter and be top secret. Just say you don't like restriction. Like Mr. Negative Man, he be cutting right to the point. Something can't. I meant not. something can't not matter and be top secret. Yeah, right. Right on, right on. Got your point. Got your point. Something cannot matter and be top secret. Yeah, just say you don't like restrictions. But shout out to Deadly Raver in the building, who also put 5 on it. Ooh, shout out to you. He says, how come you can say biokinetic renaissance generator, right? But you never say deadly? Because in my mind, it's Deadly River. Once my mind says Deadly River got inceptioned. I think the movie Mystic River and every other movie with river in the title, and I'm sure there's a movie called Deadly River. But now that you've outed me, Deadly Raver, you've properly inceptioned me with Raver, Deadly Raver. And I've seen that name enough to where I'm assuming you've been super chatting regularly, so you just got a wrench for correcting me. See, you correct me and you get a wrench. I shouldn't have said that. Not everybody going to be correcting every little mishap. Don't do that. Shout out to you, Michael Ross in the building. Appreciate you, Michael Ross. Thank you, Deadly Raven, for that correction, though. I do want to get people's name right. My bad. Super chat. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. He says, I don't really need a wrench, but thanks. It's just a nod of respect. There's probably other people who deserve the nod, but I sometimes forget. But no, if you support the channel regularly, semi-regularly, you probably got a wrench or got one coming. I mean, it's just a just a salute. That's all. Don't go crazy or do nothing stupid with it. But all right, let's dig into a few things. What we got going on here? Let me see. Here we go. Ricardo Rodney, I almost forgot about my backup channel. You putting in there, subscribe to my backup channel. Almost forgot about it. I'm going to start I was very recently thinking about it and was like, I got to start dropping some stuff on there. I see a lot of people be having backup channels and channels be getting lost in the whole works. So I need to quit bullying and put like at least like, live stream highlight clips and all kind of stuff like that on there. Do that, and then you do that, and then you're putting steady content on there. The algorithm is hitting it, and I got enough live stream highlights all over the place, all through my archives, to where I can make some content on that, make the algorithm hit it in some way. Somehow I lose this channel, man, boom, I could just pick right back up on that one. Might mess around and get that one monetized. That'd be pretty damn cool. But all right. But let's as MTR says, let's get active. Let's get active. All right. Where are we at?
What up, YouTube? I am your host, Mediocre, the talk for you, zero abuse. Back in here with one more video. Join today.
Why was she looking so agitated already? That was a weird thing. It makes me think that they must have had like pre-show conversations. So she came in wound up. She came in wound up already based off the pre-show conversation. That's the only thing that I could say to that. Red Sings the Blues says, I'm going to interview MTR one of these days. Man, give me the plug after you get done doing that. Give me the plug after you get done doing that. Yeah, I like to talk to the brother as well. Ricardo Rodney says, no, almost for appreciate you putting 5 on it. Appreciate you putting 5 on it. What the hell did I just see? Somebody said, just in case to be safe, Bernard Riley, you never know. Ty City can't stream on his channel. Ah. I didn't know Ty City couldn't stream on his channel. I did notice he hadn't been going live. I didn't know I figured he'd been busy or something. Man, I don't know what be happening that cause people to lose their ability to live stream. Like, that's wild. That is wild. I don't know how that just be happening like that. It seems like it happens very randomly. It's actually scary. But I've been banging out pre-record, so I might be all right. Shout out to E Capone. Shout out to E Capone. He dropped 5 on it. Appreciate you. I wonder what he did to get knocked. Breaking YouTube's, I think that's terms of service. I'm sure what he did, we all be doing. I mean, Ty City don't be wilding on his stream. What exactly did he do? I understand that they're gonna give a wordy, you did A, B, C, and D, and with the pilot brill and the such and such and the blah blah blah. They're gonna send him a bunch of words, but what specifically was done? So other people can do a better job at not doing that. Deadly Weaver. Okay, that's what I'm going with. Deadly Weaver. Yeah, you ain't Deadly Raver. You're Deadly or Deadly River. He's Deadly Weaver. All right, let's keep it moving.
Hey, by a very special new guest. Evelyn.
Love to be here. Happy to be here. That was a lot. I'm glad you guys appreciate.
Why do it seem like she just got some attitude? I mean, as the show goes on, I mean, she's kind of nice, but I mean, it just seemed like she just started the show with a damn attitude. Very weird. Very weird. Shout out to Mr. Barlow. I think I said before, my 5th grade teacher, whose name was Miss Barlow. She had very long breasts. You know, that Kevin Hart joke when his mom let him cuss out the teacher, and he was like, "You long titty, no nipple having bitch." Like that was Miss Barlow. So shout out to Mr. Barlow, Miss Barlow's husband. Yeah, she had long titties. They just that's the first time I ever saw titties just go below the belt line. I just never saw that before. Mr. Chainbridge is in the building. Says Ty probably said some okay. Oh yeah. That'll do it. Shout out to both of y'all coming through with the 5. Appreciate y'all coming through with the 5 on it. Woke up on the BFF side of the bed that morning. Yeah, that's how she came through. But I mean, the conversation get a little tense, but not disrespectful. Just to give you a little the long titty committee. That's what I imagine. I imagine Derek Jackson's first mistress, because she had long tittyitis as well. I'm assuming that when she get to be the age of Miss Barlow, my 5th grade teacher, that oh yeah, they're gonna be sitting in her lap easy, because she looked to be about 26 and was suffering from long tittyitis pretty bad. So yeah. Yeah. Shout out to GMB, Grown Man Business in the building. But the topic that they're talking about here today, right now, they're going to talk about a lot of different topics. But the first one that they're going on is, why do women lie about their body count? Pablo, that's a good question. He says, do black girls believe in breast lifts? I don't know the going rate for a breast lift, but I 100% support that. I think that that's a better thing to do than full-blown implants. I spoke before how I've only had sex with one woman that had breast implants. One. Spent some time in the strip club. Just a little bit of time. Strip clubs ain't my thing. But it's some, oh shit. Oh, that be damn. Look at that. Wait, hold on. Give me 1 second, fellas. Give me 1 second. 1 second. You're going to see a quick countdown while I go play with my camera. So I shall be back in less than 30 seconds. All right. But back to what Pablo was talking about. Yeah, I support breast lifts on just simply the basis that you're not putting nothing fake inside your body. It's not as intrusive of a surgery. I would imagine it don't leave as many scars. And it's just basically saying whatever you naturally got, you just raising it up a little bit. So, you know, you don't need some big all over the place knocking stuff over breasts. You just need whatever you got to just sit up a little better. That's it. So yeah, I support the breast lift and not the full blown boom 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 boom. You know, you don't need all that. The one woman I dated that had that, they looked nice, but they felt horrible. They felt like a water balloon with a big ass rock that was probably like that much smaller than the total mass of the water balloon. So it's like it felt like titty for like 1 inch of a squeeze and then rock. So you can just imagine that. It's like you touch it and it feels like a normal soft titty. Then as soon as you squeeze, rock. I don't know. So that's so I'm no fan of the implants after that. No fan of the implants. But they're nice to look at though. They are nice to look at, and perhaps there's a way to get them done just right to where they don't have rock tittyitis. Titty rock. They went from long tittyitis to rock tittyitis. Yeah, that's a thing. That is a thing. Well, let's get into it. As I stated, not there. That's not where I meant to be. Meant to be here. Here we go. The implant should go under the muscle. See, now you're getting technical and scientific-y, and I don't really know what you're talking about. I don't know the science of it. I just know how I like it to look when it's done and how I would prefer that it feels. That's the only thing I can say. Now, under the muscle, over the muscle, over the river and through the woods, I don't know. I just know how I want it to look and how I would like for it to feel. And they normally look good. They normally look good. But in my experience, they don't always feel good. Now, Mr. Shane Vicious, who likes them barely legal, no shock that he's into A cups. Okay, that was a low blow, Shane Vicious. I'm sorry. Scratch that. I apologize, Mr. Shane Vicious. That was inappropriate. That was a bad joke, ill-timed, and just not right. That was not right, Mr. Shane Vicious. I apologize. But I like something there. I don't like them. He said, I'm out. My bad, man. My bad. Hey, we didn't had them conversations about the age of consent. I be reading your comments. I be reading your comments, Shane Vicious. You like them right on that line. You like them right on that line of being just okay, good. She turned 18 today. Yes. I be reading your comments. When they 18 and 35 minutes old, 18 years and 35 minutes old, you ready to go. But no, okay. Yeah. Death Racer 25X said no old hoes. But no, I like more than the A cups. I don't like the A cups. I don't like the A cups. I've mentioned before how I've been with, some little itty bitty skinny chicks that had A cups. And yes, it is something, something feminine and sensual about a little itty bitty skinny chick, with some A cups, and Asian women, they're all short and very petite and skinny and got their A cups and they're still very sexy and sensual, so I get it. I get it. But then sometimes, not with all of them. Okay, Mr. Shane Victor said I got them mixed up with somebody. Okay, fine. It was somebody else who, okay. All right. There's a comment I remember you making that, okay, and it probably wasn't you. My memory could be wrong. Somebody had either lost their wrench or almost lost their wrench because they made a comment that I was just like, whoa, I can't get jiggy with that. So if it wasn't you, I apologize. If it wasn't you, I apologize. But yeah, I know how some Negroes get up in here. So, but anyway, sometimes they get too skinny, you don't see any lady lumps, and it's like, they look like a little boy body. But I'm not going to knock it. I just like to see more lady lumps. So that's why I don't care for the A cup, and I don't care for them to be too skinny. I've mentioned before how I, had a woman get on the scale in my house, stood on the scale, and it said 98.5 pounds. She was butt naked on the scale, 98.5 pounds. Yes, yeah, well, I had a good time with her, enjoyed it, but it's not my preference. No, I'm not making a case for fat women. Don't get that twisted. But, when you in that size 0, size 2 realm, then I can't get jiggy with that. I mean, I can. Don't get it twisted. They can get it, but that's just not my preference. Not preference. That's not what I prefer. That's not my preference. It's not my cup of tea. It's the deadly raver, not river. Well, shout out to Bad Hombre with the super chat. looking at look. I'll see what somebody's saying down there. Cut it out. But shout out to Bad Hombre with the super chat. Somebody was saying 98. Not bad at all. Eh. Can't go with it. I can get with it. We can get together. We can hook up. Don't get it twisted. But nah, that ain't my cup of tea. That ain't my ideal cup of tea. Shane Bridges said my longest relationship was with a 0. When you're hitting that from the back on that size 0, you're feeling that tailbone jab you in the lower abdomen. I don't like to feel that tailbone. I like booty cheeks. I don't feel nothing but booty cheeks and see booty meat jiggling. Shout out to Pablo, says 5 feet to 5'5", 110 to 130 is my sweet spot. Gives you some curves, but still petite. That's actually true. Pending how they're shaped, because a woman could be in that range but still not shaped quite right and don't got any curves. But there is a such thing as a woman who's carrying the right size, the right weight, the right shape to where she's very petite, very light. You can pick her up, no problem, but still got some curves on her. So yeah, there is a sweet spot for if you like them small, where they can still have some some lady lumps. He says Debo W says jiggly equals red table talk. Jiggly equals red table talk. I don't get that. He's saying I don't get that one, but thank you for the $5 super chat. But all right, let's get into this video. Let's get into this video. All right. So we got Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. Back in here. With a video talking to a woman doing a number of topics. Right now they're talking about why do women lie about their body count? Why do women lie about their body count? Interesting conversation. Like I said before, I love to hear somebody talk about, conversations we have in the manosphere, to somebody having that conversation with a woman who's not well versed into all of this. They just raw off the streets, just hearing what a woman actually spit from the dome got to say about some of this stuff. It's actually interesting. He actually grew his channel, if I'm not mistaken, on bringing women in studio, having conversations with them. So shout out to him, and let's go.
It's media telling them to do these certain things, and it's really men perpetuating these things.
Women would lie no matter what.
What I'm not gonna let you do, I cannot sit here and let you make that statement.
Why not?
You lie about women lying no matter what.
People lie. Men and women lie.
Okay, I agree.
However, women are way more covert in their communication.
It's the covert.
No, they are.
It's a mission for me.
Am I tripping though? Did I just make that up?
We are better.
Oh, so you're gonna turn the word covert to better?
No, I agree with covert. I'm laughing at it because now I'm thinking about like being on a mission.
I like some Splinter Cell shit, right? Some Metal Gear Solid shit.
Yeah, but no, I just feel like.
Okay, I love when this happens. Remember what I just said about how when you get somebody who you can tell is not well versed in these discussions, and she started out with a certain energy, like, no, I'm not going to let you say that women lie, and then as soon as he just gave one just real quick example, and it's instant energy change. I love that when they just get caught in the Okay, damn, he knows. Okay, let me change my energy and go let me take a completely different tactic now. Now that I see that he knows. I love that. I love that. That will never stop being amusing to me when I watch when I watch these conversations.
We are better at it.
You're more covert. So, okay. So we're
Let me guess. You're too busy
Oh, my bad. Whoever been criticizing me for not having YouTube Premium, I will get it. I just keep forgetting.
to watch this ad. Just like you were too busy to invest in Bitcoin or Ethereum.
saying the same things, but you
Damn, I should have listened to that ad. He was talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum. I skipped the one that I should have watched.
disagree with me when I say that women will lie.
You said we'll lie regardless.
Yes.
Now, once lying happens,
But well, listen. Well, they will lie because a lot of you guys are judged off of a lot of standards within society. So you have to lie in order to. A lot of it's created by women. Women was the first person. A woman would be way more apt to call another woman a hoe than a man would.
I don't have the data.
Oh, so now you don't have.
Put a pin in that one. With her saying, "I don't have the data." Put a pin in that one. Because you're going to see a lot of times where a lot of things were said going forward with no data required. So just put a pin in that one when she got trapped. She about to actually say something pretty good though, but just put a pin in that "I don't have the data" thing.
The data. Even think from an anecdotal perspective, because I can think of many anecdotal occasions where women would be more quick to call another woman a hoe than another woman.
You know what that is? Internalized misogyny.
From the woman?
Yeah. Like nobody would call women would not call women hoes if men didn't declare a hoe a certain thing.
No, it's also they call them hoes because they want that woman to be lower in the hierarchical standing
based
of woman.
on the patriarch or the male gaze.
No, it's not the
All right. He's going to check her on the whole patriarchy thing because I hate it with a passion when they when they play the patriarchy game. When you look up what they mean when they're talking about patriarchy, they're talking about everything that's wrong in the world, everything from war to racism, sexism, you name it, global warming, and the panda bear, the penguins going extinct, the polar bears dying out. That's what I meant to say, not panda bears. We're talking about Derek Jackson. The polar bears going extinct. All of that patriarchy. So I hate when they throw in patriarchy. It's like that's just the automatic end all be all. We've took that word, we've put so much dirt on that word. So no matter what you say to us, they can just say patriarchy. I went to and I did some content on this. How I went to it was a womanist website where they were defining patriarchy, and like I said, they defined it as everything wrong in the world. In that way, they could define their view, their womanist, feminist, whatever their views were, as the opposite of patriarchy. They defined what they were as the opposite of patriarchy, then they defined patriarchy as everything that's wrong in the world. Once they do that, they've successfully won the propaganda game, to where anybody who stands for anything traditional and patriarchal is also standing with everything that's wrong in the world. Like, that's how propaganda works. And it could be good propaganda based off a lie. It could be bad propaganda based off lies and misleading information. And it also can be good propaganda based off the truth. And that's why I give so much pushback to people to be like, why are y'all even bothered talking about this? Why are y'all doing this? Why Why do y'all care? Why y'all respond to this or respond to that? Yeah, when people be quiet, other people get to put their views out into the airwaves. And then with the things that they're saying, if they're the only game in town, that becomes the truth. And that's how we end up in a society where a 5-year-old can choose his gender. So don't ever try to, if you a man in this space, unless you undercover Splinter Cell, Maggle, whatever the hell, unless you're that, don't ever try to silence male voice and opinion on this thing, unless they're saying something stupid. If the man is saying something stupid, you can explain to him why it's stupid and why you need to pivot. But don't ever say nothing to shut it down. Because we need these platforms, because now it's a generation of women who just think that any argument can be won with, well, that's patriarchy. Patriarchy bad. Everything other than patriarchy good. We're good, they're bad. Man, bad. Woman, good. It's like that's the level of discourse and thinking that people get inceptioned with. So I had to stop the show to talk about that whole thing. Well, that's patriarchy. I had to stop the show to talk about that. Even though Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, he did a good job of shutting it down, but I just wanted to give my thoughts on that. Excuse me.
Hierarchical standing
based
of women
on the patriarch or the male gaze.
No, it's not the
based on the male gaze.
Okay, so I have an issue when you say the patriarch.
That's why I took you back.
Okay,
and I said male gaze.
Yes, that's on the male gaze, but the male gaze is important. Let's not act like it's not important for relationships, because the man has a choice as well.
I didn't say it wasn't. I'm saying that is based.
I didn't notice how much she laughed when she said the male gaze is important. It's like, how do they laugh? How do she get dressed? If that's, I don't know. Well, I mean, she clearly is a woman who's taking care of herself. She looks to be in really good shape. She's presenting herself well. She looks good. She's married. And I'm quite sure she captured the gaze of her husband. And so when he talks about the male gaze and she just scoffs at it like, oh, it's some horrible thing. You did what you had to do to keep yourself in shape and looking good to attract your husband, and now you're married, and I'm assuming living a happy life with a man who I was gonna get into that a little later. I don't know. I didn't want to get into it this early, but if I'm married, I'm not letting my wife go on some man's YouTube channel and sit next to him and talk to him about women's whole. I'll get into that later. I'll get into that later. Shout out to Counselor Murray. I got to bring you back on the show. It's been a minute. He said, I want someone to protect and provide at the same time. Down with the patriarchy. LMA. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They love patriarchy. They love patriarchy when they talking about protection, especially if they talking about some collective protection. They're talking about patriarchy. But shout out to Counselor Murray. Coming through. I think I missed a Mr. Shane Vicious super chat, by the way. In a patriarchy, children belong to the father. Yes, once upon a time, men used to get the kids after the divorce. That was a thing. The children went to the man. That was a thing. I don't got no effect yet for a $2 super chat. I was making some effects last night, so I got to get one for the $2, for the $1, $2, $3 super chats. I might use Reg's voice on that one. All right, let's get it.
Let's not act like it's not important for relationships, because the man has a choice as well.
I didn't say it wasn't. I'm saying that is based off of males picking and choosing what you guys decide are the standard. That's what I'm saying.
Because we control relationships.
Women who are saying you're a hoe because Men are saying, this is what I consider a hoe. And women are like, I want to be chose. So I don't want to be a hoe. And I don't want you to be a competitor. So I'm going to shame you for being a hoe because that's less likely to get you chose. But again, men are creating the idea of what a hoe is.
That was a fair point. That was a fair point, and I agree. It is on men to decide what a hoe is and what a hoe is not. But I still think his point stands that women are going to shame regardless, because for the thing that they both agreed on, that yes, lowering the value of another woman is a competitive thing. I remember when I was in high school, and this was back, if you was black in the late 90s in high school, that was back when it was a thing where black people, black women allegedly didn't perform oral sex, and black men allegedly didn't eat out either. Now Negroes is eating full-blown groceries. Funny how times change, but neither here nor there. I remember when it was a thing. Like women, people got shamed for that. Women legitimately got shamed. If they were found out that they did that, they got talked about. They got criticized. And see, and here's the deal. It was a girl, cheerleader. They were actually freshmen. Yep, freshmen in high school. A freshman couple. It was found out because the guy, he told everybody that his girlfriend, his first, performed oral sex on him. Now, truth be told, he was down there munching away and everything too, but he didn't tell that part. But he just was like, "Yeah, man, she's he bragging on it and talking on it, and it leaked out." And well, he leaked it out, and all the other girls, all the other cheerleaders, they were just talking about her. They was clowning her. She had to walk around in shame with her head down because they broke up. At some point they broke up, and then she was just the girl who that was her label. She had to wear that she had to wear that I can't even think of what to call it, but I don't know, that little cloak of shame. She had to wear the dunce hat or whatever the hell you wear to show that you did something shameful, that you brought you you shamed the honor of your family or something like that. It was like that. It was like that. Like she had to walk around and people talked about her, but it was the women. It was the other cheerleaders. It was the other cheerleaders who was clowning her. When they broke up, all the guys was just thinking, the guys weren't really clowning her. The guys, if anything, just wanted to be next. But the women were the ones that was clowning her. I mean, talking about her bad. Like, talk about her bad. Like, she had to, had to hold her head down in shame. And so I think she's making a good point. And yes, men do get to determine what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. And women will move based off that's the reason why, going back to what they said earlier, that she admitted that they're covert, that they lie, and they're better at it, and they're better at hiding it. They have to be better at hiding at it because it could be a badge of shame, and it could be that badge of shame because a lot of guys have done it. And then there's the arguments of, well, the men are the ones out there creating all of these hoes and then calling them the hoes. But hold on. The guys who are really the playboys who get out there and really knock down a lot of chicks, they are not the ones that tend to do that. Shout out to ARC. He's criticized men for shaming women for that. I remember when Twerkgate happened with I forgot the restaurant. The restaurant where they was twerking in his restaurant. Shout out to Platinum Elite. Platinum Elite. What's wrong with twerking? We need more twerking. Let them twerk. It's some guys who love it the way that it is. They love that all these hoes is out here. They want to increase their targets. So I don't buy that the guys who are creating them are the ones who are shaming them. But True Kitchen, I'm gonna say Magic Kitchen. Shout out to the Antisocial Socialite. Thank you for that. But yeah. Charles Merchant says the whoremonger cannot shame men for 304s being correctly identified. Right on. But there's a lot of angles with this, and I think an interesting conversation is being had, whether or not the women are just going with what the men say is right. If the man say this is shameful, this is a problem, women shouldn't act like this, and then the women turn around and then shame women who act the way that men don't think a woman should act. I think that's actually a good thing. But she's pushing and fighting back against it. That's patriarchy. That's a problem. So then who's in the right here? The men who would like to see less women be hoes, because as we know, the most men don't get to partake like that. Now, I don't accept the 80-20 rule in that 80% of men are X'd out of the dating pool. But I think it does make general sense that roughly 80%, we can play with the number all we want, probably don't get quick, easy access like that. Got to put in a little more time, work, and effort. So I think it's a smaller percentage of men who are, we know this. That's manosphere dogma that are just the full-blown looters in the riots. But most men are, I think, morally in the right place to say, no, these was cutting up, because most of those guys are saying that I typically get sex in the context of a relationship or a situation where I've invested time and energy. So yes, if I got to invest time and energy to be with the woman and deal with the woman, yeah, I would kind of like her to not be a hoe if we're going to be, dealing with each other the long way, as they say. So I don't think men are in the wrong with that. And then here's women fighting against it. So interesting conversation. We're going to progress it on forward. We got 319 people in the building. 319 people in the building. Make sure y'all hit the like button, because we only got 139 on the likes. That ain't good. That ain't good. That ain't good at all. Let's do a little better. Do a little better on the likes. Let's get those up. Let's get those up. Let's try to scrape 200. But let's go.
I think I understand your point, but here's the thing: is that number one, you have to respect how men.
The idea of what a hoe is. I don't want to be a hoe, and I don't want you to be a competitor, so I'm going to shame you for being a hoe, because that's less likely to get you chose. But again, men are created. I don't want to be a hoe, and I don't want you to
hold on.
This is what I consider a hoe, and women are like, I want to be chose, so I don't want to be a hoe, and I don't want you to be a competitor, so I'm going to shame you for being a hoe, because that's less likely to get you chose. But again, men are creating the idea of what a hoe is.
I think I understand your point, but here's the thing: is that number one, you have to respect how men summarize their opinion of head. Okay, so regardless of what that is, and I think like what has entered into this modern topic is that women should and can have as much experiences as a man. Right. And it's not considering the biology. It's not considering the evolutionary differences between us, the sexual dimorphism. It's not considering any of those different things. And it's just saying, well, what's the difference between men and women. And there's far differences in the way that we think about things, in the chemicals that generate in our body. You have an innie, I have an outie, right?
I'm not doing
There's a lot of different differences. So to think that we shouldn't be regarded you can.
Eric and a sloth use eToro to trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptocurrencies.
Give birth, I cannot. So to not think that our sexual escapade should be regarded differently, I think is short-sighted.
All right, he made good points there, but to Detley Detley Raver, to what Detley Raver said, did she just contradict herself? Yes, to some degree, she did. She certainly did. She's saying that I don't want to be a hoe because a hoe is less likely to get chose, and I want to get chose, so I'm going to shame those that are hoes to put them below. But she's on here essentially defending hoes' ability to be hoes. So yeah, the whole thing is sort of a contradiction when she tried to get in the trenches and make the tit for tat points, when the overall thing that she's running with is men shouldn't care about a woman being a hoe. They shouldn't care about body count. They shouldn't care about this. They shouldn't care about that. So yeah, I mean, it's some contradictions lying within. Absolutely. And my man Leo Anthony in the building. I tried to find a bomb drop thing. I'm going to get a better one, but this is the best one I got. That was the best I got. When somebody drop a $10 super chat, I wanted to have a bomb drop, but that's the best one I got right now. I'm gonna get a better one. But shout out to Leo Anthony. He says, here's the problem though. You have women who believe hoes are whining are winning and aspire to be that. Yes, you have women. It's the problem. You have women who believe hoes are winning and aspire to be that. They may be winning financially. Well, I don't think they winning financially. You're taking a small percentage that's killing it on OnlyFans. I don't think they winning. Okay, some strippers are winning. Some OnlyFans chicks are winning. Yes. We get that. So I'll go with your premise. They may be winning financially, but romantically, when it comes to relationships, they are losing. That is correct. Somebody said that bomb dropped from the stratosphere. Yeah, it dropped. I was trying to find a quick explosion, but that thing it came from on high. That bomb came from on high. Yep. He said that bomb sounds like the coyote fell off the cliff on Bugs Bunny. Yeah, that's why I didn't like it. I tried to find some bomb drop sound effects in the one that I found was it wasn't my favorite. I put that on there right before the show started. Man, get off me, man. He said that bomb was awful. It's the best I got right now. It's the best I got. Work with me. Work with me. Should men accept a woman's high body count?
Men are entitled to how they perceive information, right? So,
but it's important.
I'm not saying it's unimportant.
Okay.
I'm saying that is what women are basing it off of, not other women. And I'm also saying that it's okay if what men could be deducing women to, or deducing like a hoe to, could have exceptions, right? Like, she is a hoe if her body count is this, that, and the third.
Mm-hmm.
But you can meet a woman, right? Like, for example, you don't know if I'm a quote unquote hoe or not right now, right?
No, you're married. You're not a hoe. No, I know you're not a hoe.
Married woman comes on a man's show to defend hoes. I just find that weird. Something weird about it. But moving along. Is there an objective definition of a hoe? To that I say no. It varies, and I think they're going to get into that. But yeah, it's no. There are some women who get crossed over to a point where, oh yeah, that's some non-negotiable hoeing that she doing. But I mean, I've heard it was a guy he was from India or somewhere. He was talking to a brother, and he was saying there's a woman that he was considering. He said she's had sex with two men, and he was like, do you? And he was considering her for marriage and everything, but he was like, she's had sex. She's had two sex partners. Do you think she's used up? And I'm like, bruh, like, yeah, that I don't know what world they live in where two sex partners is used up. But Mr. Shanevic is in the building, says, I mostly deal with hoes and have an appreciation and respect for them. And I respect that. I mean, look, if you into hoes and you all about hoes and you ain't trying to have no relationship and you just want to have sex with as many hoes as possible, then yeah, you should have a respect for hoes. I mean, you know what you are, you know what they are, and you know what you want, and they know what they want, I assume, and yeah, all parties winning. Is lying hoes that most men have an issue with. May very well be true. May very well be true right there. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you putting the 5 on it. Is there an objective definition of a hoe? I just be cussing on my streams. I know I'm gonna take them down, so I don't be caring. Well, I don't take them all down, but I think this one more than likely is going to come down.
Well, here's a part of my point is that the word is very subjective. I do think that it is a very subjective term. And in fact, there's a lot of young ladies who get labeled the term that are actually not the term. But the term is also very subjective depending upon the man that you actually ask. Like there's some men that would say that if you're not a virgin, right? And there's other men that will say that if you're like, 30 with like 10 bodies deep, right? Like, so, and I say like, it's just a random, right? So, but it's a label that can be exacerbated depending upon the particular man and the particular woman. And then that there's women that will put that label onto women in an attempt to demonstratively decrease their standing in the dating marketplace.
Agreed.
Just in case in the event that people can actually see that, it says, does a high body count have an effect on marriage?
Studies will show that the more bodies that you have, the less likely that your marriage will be successful. The more bodies prior to the marriage.
But again, we know that data is skewed because people will lie.
It could be it could be a multi-factor. It could be other things within that, and correlation never equals causation. But the studies were done.
And they said the more bodies you have,
they linked the body count to the and they did it over a sample size. They linked the body count to the chance of divorce. And there's also a term called pair bonding. And that term, in essence, and I'm paraphrasing because I'm not an expert on this shit, besides just having YouTube.
I agree with what he's saying. Damn, I stopped him at a bad point with his eyes was rolling in his head. Let me help him out. Okay. I agree with what he said, and there's some data that could show, and I can understand that having a lot of sexual partners before the marriage. I can in general understand that, and there's some data to support it. So for that, I'm saying, okay, I don't necessarily agree with the pair bonding thing and where this is about to go, but let's roll.
But But the idea is that so when you gave your virginity away to whatever young man,
I don't use away. I didn't give anything away.
When you lost your virginity,
I didn't. Okay.
When you became unvirgin,
okay, I'll do
the first time your viscous innards were plundered.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when that happened,
I wonder what the hell do she call it if she don't call it losing it or giving it away or what the hell? I'm just curious with that. Like that's some next level woman is thinking, gynocentric thinking, to where they have they're pushing back against defining a woman pre-sex versus a woman after sex, pre-sex and post-sex. Oh, I don't like the way you said that. I didn't give nothing away. I didn't lose anything. I didn't. Okay, what the hell you call it? I wish you would have pinned her down and asked her just very directly, what the hell do you call it? Yeah, Ace Spades, her sexual debut. You choked me on that one. Her sexual debut. Oh, shoot, that's a good one. That's going to be in a textbook on a college campus someday. When a woman has made her sexual debut. Oh man. Mr. Chambers just said initial public offering. Deadly Raver. She let the kitty out the house. Sexual IPO. Her grand opening. She let the kitty eat raw meat. My internal release. Al Boogie said her husband is definitely annoyed by her. Hold on, let me make sure I read that right. It was moving. Her husband is definitely annoyed by her. Yeah, I'm thinking her husband. I mean, I hate to say this because I mean, look, I respect couples. I respect the marriage, but part of the reason why a lot of men scoff at marriage, not the only reason, but part of it is a lot of women have, ideologies and ideals and beliefs and like this guy is married to a card carrying feminist who's defending the whole phase and this or that or blah 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 and going on a male's show in the manosphere to sit next to another man and talk about her sexual debut and stuff. It's like my woman's not doing that. So her ideology that she's espousing right now, plus what's kind of happening here, even though nothing terrible is happening here, I just think just tend to believe her husband is either I don't know. I hate to say it. But yeah, she's married, and it just he just comes. It just I don't even throw around. I don't throw around the word, and I'm fumbling for my words right now because I don't just throw around beta male and alpha male like that because I don't like the terms. I like MOT's definition where he talks about how alpha male is based off productivity and what you accomplish and what you do. Even when Kevin Samuels is talking about a high value man, if you really look at his definition, it has nothing to do with being sexually attractive to women. It doesn't have a whole lot to do with women. It has more to do with what you accomplish, your overall footprint that you're putting on the world, like your carbon footprint. But that's what it has more to do with, your reach and your value to the world. And I look like that's what's That's what I see as alpha. Now, it is something to be just that dude who just sexually select to the ladies. That's something. That counts for something. I'm not going to deny that. You know, if you just walk in a room and women, you know, are more attracted to you than guy B, then hey, in your own, I mean, hey, you win in that aspect of the game. It's just, but so I don't like to just throw around alpha and beta like that. If somebody said he's the bottom, I don't know. But with me not wanting to just throw around alpha and beta like that, he do look like I mean that's just my read. That's just my read on this. That's just my read on this. I mean, would y'all let y'all woman married to you go on some man's show and talk about her pussy? I don't know. That coupled with her feminist womanist ideals, yeah, I tend to believe that he's a beta in a relationship, but I don't know. Somebody said she got shooting guard energy. Cut it out. She does have, and it could be just from working out. We like in shape women that work out. You can't really see it from this shot here, but her whole shoulder, you can't really see it, but I call it the Goldbergs. I know the wrestler Goldberg, his area right there. I forgot what it's actually called. It was real big. She got some solid Goldberg, some pronounced shoulders and all, you know, yeah. But that's like I said, she's in shape. When a woman is in good shape, yeah, her whole little bridge right here, if that's what it's called, yeah, it's gonna be some tone definition. You're gonna see collarbones and shoulder muscle and all of that, and the Goldbergs and all of that popping out. Yeah, the traps, all of that. Yeah, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see all of that. When women work out, that's just the reality of it. You want them working out and you want them in shape, but then it comes at a cost. You're gonna they get too in shape for you. They're gonna be built like a WNBA player, a track star. Them track star stars, some of them they be looking good from the you know stomach going down, from like rib cage down. Them track stars be looking, them female track stars be looking good. But but that upper body, they be looking like Venus and Serena in that upper body. But anyway, back at it.
You more than likely formed a strong and concrete bond with that person.
I didn't know.
Oh, generally, on average, most women will form a strong and concrete bond with the first person, and then the subsequent bonds after that will decrease by some factor.
Where are we getting this from?
This is experiences and field studies of over 35 years of living.
All right. That's where MTR kind of, damn, I like the way that look. The Milky Way galaxy, I presume that is. But I like the way that looked. That looked pretty damn cool. I'm gonna make something like that in my background. But yeah, okay, so let's look at where he went with that. And then she asked him for some data on it, and he said from 35 years of living. So that means we're talking about we get caught up in manosphere truisms that may not be fully 100% solid. You know, there's factors in the equation as to whether or not the woman is going to just automatically bond with the first guy she had sex with. A lot of women, their first sexual experience is terrible. It doesn't ensure a bond. A lot of times they even when if they continue to have sex on and on again, it never gets exactly, well, I won't say never, but sometimes it don't even get exactly good. You know, it sometimes that first person. It's just y'all bumping and knocking and trying to figure it out. It's like, so no, I don't buy the whole you pair bonding with the first person you had sex with. Now that first person that you fell in love with that made you come real good, then yeah, okay, they probably, yeah, it might be some attachment to that guy or that type of guy, and I understand that generally makes sense. But no, I don't think it's just I don't buy that as just true that the first guy that you had sex with is just going to make you that you're going to automatically be attached to that and can't get more attached to somebody else. No, I don't necessarily buy that one. But Charles Merchant in the building with a $10. I played a got 5 on it when you drop a $5 super chat, but if you drop 10, we gotta play the Acme bomb thing. I'm gonna get a better one. I'm gonna get a better bomb, but this is what we got right now. Thank you, Charles Merchant, for that super chat. He says, for 304, marriage is her gateway to rulership. She finds a mate that will spend a lifetime trying to please a bottomless pit, which cannot be filled. The movie Takers was meant for these same 304s. Thank you for the super chat, Charles Merchant. Appreciate that. Al Boogie came through with the shout out to Al Boogie. Says that jawline. Oh, okay. Is you talking about you calling a chick a jawline? Nigga, cut it out. Had MTR tap dancing with that question. Yeah, I gotta cut it out. Yeah, I gotta cut it out. She's not a bad looking woman. She's not a bad looking woman. So cut it out. She's actually cute. So cut it out. Cut it out. But appreciate you, Al Boogie and Charles Merchant, for those super chats.
People are not asking the right questions. They're not asking the right questions because they kind of think they already know the answers.
In your life. Where are we getting this from? It's like, how many versions? You're like, they're still on my phone. So
variances.
Where was I at? Trying to make this. I want to blow this up a little bigger. Now, I don't mean to pull a Donovan Sharp, because I don't think body language experts are. I don't think that's an A1 science. I really don't. But it's interesting. But when they say, look at how this, I mean, me and Obsidian, we used to have fun talking about Derek Jackson's blinking when he would be selling his book, how he would be blinking when he came to when he did the sales pitch. That was like his tell that he's saying some bullshit when he would say that the 70% off sale is going to be ended in the next 36 hours, and he'll start blinking all over the place. Like that's his lying tell, so to speak. I don't think it's an exact science. So bear with me when I give some body language analysis. I'm no expert, and I don't even think there's a such thing as an expert when it comes to that, so bear with me. But I tend to believe women, okay, you know where I'm going, Stoic. They are sitting very close, but that's sort of the shtick of the, I mean, not the shtick, but just the way it's set up. He sits close with everybody. Even when him and the guy is on there, they sit kind of close. But I do know that she's about to do something that women only do, that they will do this if they are just really close platonically with a guy, or they would do this with a guy who they are sexually or romantically interested in. So I don't know how close their platonic relationship is. So, but it's this laugh and like lay on you. Like, you ever been just sitting next to a woman and you crack a joke and she laugh, and when she laugh, she kind of like she kind of like lays on you like that when she's laughing. Like that's a thing that women do, given the signs that they, you know, that's them. That's their version of breaking the touch barrier. You know how the dating coaches and pick up guys that say, you know, hand on the shoulder when you shake their hand, touch them somewhere, you know, break the touch barrier. That's women's way of doing that. If you crack a joke and they just lay their body on you and get all laying on you, that's like some sexual energy. Yeah, shout out to Deacon Dave. That's some sexual energy that this married woman is throwing out there. And I'm no body language expert, but just watch it though. I mean, that's why I was hypothesizing that her husband is pretty damn beta for this whole thing.
In field studies of over 35 years of living.
In your life. Where are we getting this from? It's like, how many versions? You're like, they're still on my phone.
So are you telling me that women?
Not an exact science, but when women do that, it doesn't. That's a tell. Now, a woman will do that if she's just really platonically close with a guy. She will like lay on him or lean on him like that when she's laughing. So maybe they go back to high school or something. I don't know, but yeah. That's just a little factor to average into the equation. Just a little factor. Get out of there. Mr. Majestic said her husband holding the camera. No body language expert. I'm just spitballing. I'm shooting it from the hip with some body language analysis. I am no expert. But yeah, she did lean all on him and lay all into him. And women only did that with me for one or two reasons. We either were having sex, or she was sexually interested in me, or I had just known her for a while and we were, you know, good friends. Like a coworker who I had known for a long time. But even then, those coworkers who we weren't having sex and weren't trying to have sex, but we worked together for so long and had so many conversations, and we had inside jokes and used to laugh and joke, and then that playful lean on you when they laugh type of thing, they would do that. But even then, when I look back, that coworker, it still was some flirty stuff going on. You know, even though we kept it at work and I wasn't trying to take it beyond that and she wasn't trying to take it beyond that, it still was, you know, like I said, I work blue collar machine shops, those union jobs. It's hot in the summertime. The women in there with booty shorts and tank tops were working on an assembly line. So they in there prancing around anyway, distracting from the work that need to get done. So all the leaning in, playing, touching and hitting and all of that stuff. Yeah, all of that's going on, and all of that's, you know, little flirty kind of sexual stuff. But yeah, she did it. She did that. And of course, M. Stewart came in with the cape on, defending a married woman who's defending hoes would, of course, say it means nothing. Never mind. Never mind what you see. Who are you going to believe, me or your lying eyes? My camera did the thing that it does again. I got to take a quick 30-second break, but I'll try to be back before the 30 seconds. I'm back. I'm back. All right. But yeah. All right. Let's get it.
In general, in mass, in aggregate, on average, are not more connected to the first man that they had sex with.
No.
You guys heard it here first.
Depending, and I think it depends. You heard it here first from Evelyn's Bay. On 29 years of research. And
First time I've ever heard that.
Listen, nobody. I am a woman who has female friends. Nobody's like, man, but that one time I lost my virginity, like, yeah, like can't wait to go back. Still, like,
but not the one time. The person, the human
person,
being.
yeah, they're not like, oh, I feel so much more connected to him than any of my future sexual partners. Like, no, nobody is saying that.
Did they lose their virginity to someone that they were vastly interested in, or they just lose it to lose it?
I will say typically people do because you want to feel comfortable in that space, but let's not get into, we won't get into other, but typically you lose it to somebody. I don't like using lose. Typically you engage in your first time with somebody who
she don't like to say lose virginity. Typically you engage in your first sexual function, your first public service release program efforts. Like she just can't say he lost virginity. That is some weird stuff. That is a new wave in the whole womanist thing, that to where they don't like to say that they lost their virginity or they gave their virginity, or that is a new one on me. I never heard of that. I literally never have until today. That's my first time hearing of that. And what is their motivation for not wanting to? It seems as if there's an effort or an attempt to segregate or to not segregate a difference between a woman who's having sex versus a woman who's not having sex. What is the motivation in doing so? What is the motivation in doing that? I'm puzzled by that. Yeah, the first casting couch then. Okay, whatever you're going to call it. It is patient denial, Stoic one says. It implies she wasn't in control. So Mr. Albert says, this is what college is teaching these women. Yeah. But I do generally agree that the first guy, just off the method, just off the strength of being the first, it doesn't imprint on her like that. Things can change a woman's trajectory. That is true. I will grant that, but I don't. But we're gonna move forward. The Mac the Trucker in the building, dropping. Thank you for dropping 5 on it. He says, I don't think the husband is beta. They probably got an open marriage, which means the husband. And y'all gonna cut it out, man. You Negroes gonna cut all this out. Y'all killing me, man. Deacon Dave in the building says, is it tacky to slick edges with dreads? Is it tacky to slick the edges with dreads? What do you mean by slick? When you say slick the edges, I'm thinking you're talking about when they put some gunk and put it on the edges so it'll lay straight into the dreads. That don't look like what she's done right there. Look, man, ain't nothing wrong with her hair and the way she look. I mean, yeah, I'm not going on that one. I'm not going on that one. Her hymen destruction. That's what they should call it. The pilot episode of Sex. That's a good name for it. But no, I'm not going with y'all on the criticizing the way she looks. There's nothing wrong with how this woman look. All right. You could say she may not be your personal cup of tea, but she's just not she's wearing black hair. That's, that's how black people hair, that's what black people hair do. It might be, even if it's weave, it's weave that looks like black hair. So those would qualify as extensions. The same thing. Well, white girls go to the club and they put extensions in. They just clip it in under their hair. When they go home, they just clip it off and throw it somewhere. But it's considered okay because they're wearing hair that looks like their hair. They just extending it out just for the weekend so they can go party girl with longer hair, and then they take it down. That's if that's okay, then whatever she's doing with her hair right there is okay. So I'm like I say all the time, I attack ideas and not people, but even though I sometimes will come after some people, but for the most part, I'm about the ideas, the words that are coming out of her mouth. As far as her physical appearance and how she looked, I got nothing negative to say there. Counselor Murray in the building says, I got a whoa. Okay. I think he's quoting somebody. Okay. I got a train ran on me, but it was just a phase I was going through. Only women can have phases. Right on. I didn't see the quotation marks. Shout out to Counselor Murray. You scared me for a second, man. You scared me. I didn't see the quotation marks. Whew. I'm like, brother, you need a counselor, Counselor Murray. Snuggles 668 in the building. He says, I see a lot of $5 giveaways is going on here. I sense a challenge. It is challenge day. Get that, T'Challa. I accept your challenge. And we got a song to go with it. By the way, did you invest in XRP? Man, don't ask me about that, man. I didn't do right when I should have when it comes to XRP. So XRP went crazy recently, and I didn't benefit like I should have, and I'm a little down about that. So don't ask me about XRP. Don't ask me about XRP. But anyway, yeah, we do got a $5 song. Shout out to Snuggles, the $5 champion of the world. The $5 super chat champion of the world in the building. At least on my channel. I never said fair use, so fair use. In a retroactive fair use for the beginning of the video when I began speaking, a retroactive fair use.
You care about, but you're young. That's why I said it depends on what age that you engage in your first sexual encounter.
Y'all hear that shit? No, Mr. Albert, I'm talking about fair use for this whole video. I'm basically going to make it. This is a 20-minute video. I'm 9 minutes into it, only 9 minutes, but I'm going to be it's going to be probably making it through almost the whole thing. The Dogecoin shot up. I mean, I'm looking good as far as the money that I'm making on crypto, but it was a lot of missed opportunities where I was being just too conservative and didn't want to just take the money in my savings and just have my savings account looking bad, but my wallet's looking good. And then the market crash on me and now I'm screwed. Like if it crash, like it just turn into a failed experiment and it never bounces back. And then I've lost everything. So I was like, no, I had in my mind a percentage of my savings I was willing to invest. And I got a lot of that on Bitcoin and Ethereum and a few other little small things that I got a little bit of money on, but nothing major. But I was telling myself, no, be more bold, take a bigger risk, pinch another, 2,000 out, 3,000 out, and put it on this coin and that coin and that coin. And then I didn't do it. And now I'm watching some of those coins move up, and I'm a little down in the dumps about that. So I want to talk about it because yes, brothers need to be investing, but at the same time, I'm a little too pissed to talk about it because I missed some opportunities. But I'm still doing good. I'm in the game. Don't get it twisted. I'm in the game. I'm making money. I'm looking good. I'm up, but I could be much, much better. I could be much, much better if I would have just been a little more bold. Or as my man Oheen Imara says, Put as much as possible on it, as much as possible. And I feel him. You know, he's right. As much as possible. You know, you don't not be able to pay your light bill, don't not be able to pay your water bill or get groceries. But as long as you can make sure that your lights stay on and you've got food in the refrigerator, everything else, yeah, you should be trying to put it somewhere where it can grow. Letting your money just sit in your savings. As he said, if your money in your savings, you hate yourself. It's just they're just chilling, not doing nothing for you. It's just chilling. But I'm still of that mindset. I got to have a certain amount of cash in my savings that I missed the boat on some things. But I'm looking good though. I'm still looking good. I'm definitely far into the black when it comes to crypto. So I'm good, but missed some opportunities. D Weeze says scared money don't make money. That's true. Because that money sitting in my savings ain't making no money. Ain't making a goddamn thing. But, you know, very conservative when it comes to my money. Very conservative. But anyway, back on it. Go check out that stream called Chasing. When I first made the stream, I've made it kind of graphic. It was I've named it Money Over Biatches, but it's now it's changed to Chasing Money instead of Women or something like that. I changed the title, but the same thumbnail is there. And Oheen Crypto with Lionel and a new brother I just found out about named Focus. He don't got a channel yet, but he the good brother brought a wealth of knowledge to the conversation as well. He does day trading. So I definitely recommend you go back and watch that one if you haven't already. It's sitting there doing good, sitting strong with like 3.5, 3.6K views. Go ahead and check it out. Give that one a watch. But anyway, let's get back active, as MTR says. Let's get back active.
And it depends on how you view sexual encounters.
So listen, okay. I could.
It depends on what age that you engage in your first sexual encounter, and it depends on how you view sexual encounters.
So listen.
Yeah, I think she was right in her general analysis of that. So I'm just going to move forward. I stopped and we talked for a minute, so I don't even know if y'all remember exactly what she said, setting it up. But your first doesn't always imprint on you. Yeah, how you view sexual encounters matter. How you view that person that you had sex with matter. How good was the sex? All of that. A lot of times when girls, especially when they're young in their, mid to late teens, just getting started, it's not just this exhilarating experience like it is for guys. Like for us, it's just pumping back and forth and busting a nut. And so, yes, it's very simple for us. It is more complicated for them starting out. So their first is not the guy that's going to ultimately do it for them like that. And, they may get 10 bodies in before they find that guy that, whoa, he did some shit to me that I didn't know that could be done. So no. But anyway, moving forward.
Okay. I concede the point if that's your truth. Okay. I concede the point. And
have you talked?
No, I'm speaking to you. You're telling me.
But I'm saying I'm curious. In your circle of
I've dealt with women in that age range, and they seem to get ridiculously emotional regarding the man who they lost their virginity to. During in that age range, and I'm thinking of it, and I think the subsequent sexual experiences after that have been way less emotionally invested and involved. And then you get to a point where women can have unemotional sex with people and just carry on. And and to a degree, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm saying be whoever you are, amount to what it is that you want to amount to, do what you want.
Do men value women with lower body counts?
is men don't really value a virgin.
Bullshit.
Talk to me.
Because
Bullshit with some bullshit sprinkled on top of the bullshit.
as again, if we want to talk about relationships and somebody that you are doing for the rest of your life, you don't want to be that girl.
Wait a minute. I think this is a common. So I just went over something you think it was a common misconception for women. Let's go over something that's a common misconception for men. Men, we don't care what you didn't know before you met us.
But
what you did or you didn't know.
That's why you're asking about body count.
No, men care if you are for the night. Men don't care if we want to take you to the promised land and back. If that's the case, we will teach you everything that you need to know.
MTR is spitting facts. He about to start cooking her right now. He about to start cooking her right now because she about to get on some total BS. But yeah, he spit straight facts on that one. We don't care that you came ready knowing how to do a running cartwheel turn to a backflip landing split on the dick. We don't care that you show up ready knowing how to do that. If that's what we into, we would rather teach you that. We would rather be the one who teach you for us to think about, be sitting there thinking about how many other guys did you do a running start, cartwheel, backflip, jump in the air, land, and split on the dick. Well, no, we would rather be the one to teach you.
I mean that you know what to teach us because you don't.
What?
Let me back that up.
Why would a man take you to the promised land and back? If that's the case, we will teach you everything that you need to know.
Assuming that you know what to teach us because you don't.
What? Why would a man not know what he finds desirable?
No, you can know that. Okay. I'm saying you can know that.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know what else I can show you.
Do y'all hear this shit? Now, MTR was absolutely right. How could some other man teach you what I'm going to find desirable? And she's just saying, yeah, okay, you can't, but you don't know what I can show you. She's basically making an argument on a stream that I did before is basically saying that it's good for a woman to be a hoe before she get married because all that hoeing that I did has trained me up just right to where now I could just take all that my whole knowledge and give it to my man and give it to my husband. Like what kind of stuff is like this? That's what I said. I kept bringing it back to the husband. His wife is on modern day version of national TV, basically saying, and look at that look on her face, like you don't know what I can teach you. Like she's looking at him like you don't know, like that. I'm gonna stop pretending like they having like little sexual innuendo. But anyway, you don't know what I can teach you. Like look at you looking at him. But anyway, she's basically saying that yes, I was out there hoeing it up so good to where my husband is being the beneficiary of all of the wholeness that I did. It's like that is just like damn. But a woman literally said that. Like that's an argument that they are putting out there. That yes. yes. You should value the hoe. You shouldn't value a woman coming in experience and she gathering all that experience with you because you don't even know what you want and you ain't gonna know that you want it until I turned you out and showed you it. Until I showed you how I know how to do this thing right here. No, that's some BS. That's some BS. If it's one night, yes, she can come. If it's a weekend fling, if it's a friends with benefits, yes, she can know all the stuff. But he's absolutely right. If we picking a woman on some long-term stuff and it's some things sexually that she may not know, we want to be the leader. We want to be the teacher. You ain't respecting a dude if you in there just turning him out and you the one who in charge and he's the boy who's learning from this experience, sexually savvy woman. Like, come on. Like that's where she's just getting all the way on some bull.
So you're saying you don't know what else that you can show me because you've learned what else you can show me elsewhere?
Yeah, or exploring your own body or through other people. Yeah.
Men don't care.
Yeah, Brian Washington. They are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook. They are who we thought they were. Right. Yeah, exploring your own body. Charles Merchant in the building says the average film bot is just a fire hydrant. Many dogs walk by, take a piss, then leave. And because he dropped a $10 super chat, I gotta drop the acne. But don't laugh at my bomb. This is the best bomb I got right now. Do not laugh at my bomb. Don't laugh at my bomb. It's all I got right now. I'm gonna have a better one tomorrow. Stoic One says, Who's married? Who's married to this lovely lady? It was supposed to be just a quick, but apparently they had to drop it from the cliff that the coyote in the roadrunner was running around. So apparently, so that's the bomb. That's the bomb noise for over a $10 super chat. I do got something for a $100 super chat. That's kind of funny. But so I'm gonna have a special sound for 10, 20, and 50. I'm gonna have different sound effects. Different effects. AJC in red. She's a O. She's a O. I said she's a O. Shout out to AJC in red with the $5 super chat. Appreciate that. All right. She belonged to the Nebula. Goddamn. Okay, we got one upvote for the Acme bomb. We got one upvote for the Acme bomb. You know what? Let me tell a story that I shouldn't tell. Far as a woman showing up experienced and skilled, and how she's arguing that no, you should like the hoe, you should value the hoe because she's showing up with all kind of hoe tricks to where she knows how to please you. He's saying no, that if we're going to be with that woman long term, we will teach her everything she needs to know. And she's saying that no, but you don't know what to teach her. You don't know what you like. You don't know what you like until I show you some shit that I learned from Nuck Nuck. Like, let me say this, and this is a part that I shouldn't say. My woman got progressively significantly better at some things throughout the course of our relationship. Now, I wouldn't be red pill if I didn't acknowledge the simple point that she could have been deliberately holding back. Like she could have been performing oral sex at only 50% strength, and then 2 years in the relationship, she just and then just went full, Super Saiyan on the dick sucking. That's very possible. Or it's possible that I taught her. Either one could be true. And even if I'm deluding myself into thinking I taught her, I like that story better. Versus if she just would have showed up and on the first night, she just would have just went full ham. Yeah. It would hit different. It would hit different. I would have enjoyed it, but it hit different. That she got progressively better at a lot of things sexually as we went on. So that's what men, how we're wired, and what we would like to know or think or believe in that relationship that we took her to that next level. We taught her this stuff. We would like to believe that. Now she could be sandbagging all day and then you know, and just gradually just breaking stuff out, you know, year by month by month, year by year, she just breaking out. That's very possible. That is very possible. That they give you a little prudish blowjob for the first couple months, and then like, oh, look at what you taught me, oh, and then just completely, yeah, you know, yeah, that's very possible. That's very possible. But yeah, the way men are wired, and MTR is absolutely right. Whatever trick stunts or whatever she's going to pull out sexually, yes, we would prefer. She don't have to show up ready to go if this is a long-term relationship. We can teach her everything she needs to know on the way to the promised land, and she's arguing that no, we are the ones who need to be sexually experienced and show up and teach you, boy. That's why I'm just like, her husband got to be on some beta shit. But anyway, carrying on.
Well,
and that's the thing, and that's why we got to have these conversations, because men in general don't care. In general, we can teach you all the things that you need to know, and we can explore it together, and we can form a bond together in knowing how to within each other.
Yeah, but
because we're bonded.
Correct, but what if that person doesn't have the capacity to meet you where you feel fulfilled?
Well, that has nothing to do with her messing with Jerome a month ago.
Woo! Cooking her. Cooking her. That was Mike drop it. But what if she don't got the capacity? Well, she don't got the capacity, she not gonna have the capacity with Jerome. So if she had the capacity to learn it from Jerome, that means she gonna have the capacity to learn it from me. So why is this married woman on here giving a full-blown, full-court press, slap the floor, come up in a defensive stance, defense of hoes like this? It's crazy. He killed her with that one. She just looked away. Oh man, that was good. Kadashaya in the building with the $5 super chat. Says the only then she can show me, I think he means the only thing she can show me that'll impress me is that if she swallows otherwise than that, she can impress me by hitting that 304 stroll. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that.
That's got nothing to do with it. If she don't have the capacity, she don't have the capacity.
Yeah, I want to back up some.
You all the things that you need to know, and we can explore it together, and we can form a bond together in knowing how to within each other.
Yeah, but
because we're bonded.
Correct, but what if that person doesn't have the capacity to meet you where you feel fulfilled?
Well, that has nothing to do with her messing with Jerome a month ago. That's got nothing to do with it. If she don't have the capacity, she don't have the capacity. But maybe we can have communication and talk about how we can leverage her capacity or expand her capacity. That's a better word for it, how to expand her capacity. But because she was chilling with Tom, Dick, and Harry a year ago, right, and she knows a trick or two, doesn't necessarily raise her marriage value, her relationship value.
No, I agree. But when we get to the inner workings of what keeps that marriage going and keeps that man excited sexually,
yeah,
you want to be with that girl that is aware of what sexually excites you.
Yes, but that awareness doesn't come from anywhere but me.
I don't think that's
Boom, she did it again. She had to look at the camera again on that one.
That's got nothing to do with it. If she don't have the capacity, she don't have the capacity. But maybe we can have communication and talk about how we can leverage her capacity or expand her capacity. That's a better word for it, how to expand her capacity. But because she was chilling with Tom, Dick, and Harry a year ago, right, and she knows a trick or two, doesn't necessarily raise her marriage value, her relationship value.
No, I agree. But when we get to the inner workings of what keeps that marriage going and keeps that man excited sexually, you want to be with that girl that is aware of what sexually excites you.
Yes, but that awareness doesn't come from anywhere but me.
I don't.
I love that every time he tear down the logic. I love it. I don't got nothing to add right there. I've already said I had what I had to say as far as that. When it's just it's just it's running up the score.
I don't think that's true. Because there are certain things that you might not know you enjoy sexually that you haven't experienced before. And if you meet somebody who's experienced, they can offer you another sensation that you might not have felt otherwise.
I think that should be the woman's expectation on the man.
Men, what more for yourselves? What more for yourselves?
No, because
you wonder why women are like.
She's saying want more for yourself, meaning want a woman with more whole experience, which means she knows more whole tricks. So want more for yourself. Don't just want a woman who's going to be just boring in bed. No, want more for yourself. Want that hoe that has 100 guys under her belt, just knows all the tricks. Want more for yourself, man. Want more. Think better of yourself. That's what the argument has devolved to.
Starfishing and just laying there.
Never have, never will. What we value is the lowest.
I missed what it said right there. Okay, do men value sexual mileage in potential wives? And Dejmatic in the building. With the $5 super chat, appreciate that. He says a lot of women don't believe or know what the hell they're talking about. They're just saying what they think is right and proves their loyalty to the sisterhood. Yeah, she's doing something that something that we're quite familiar with. We are quite familiar in this space. We are quite familiar. We are quite familiar with the women who live a certain life, but will put a cape on and argue for all kinds of fuckery that they allegedly don't engage in. We will see women, they call in the Kevin Samuels show doing it. The broke down women sometimes do it, but you see it a lot on Kevin Samuels show where they will call in. You'll find out that they're married. You find out that they came from a stable home. But they just got on a full defense, full court press, arguing on behalf of other women who have made bad decisions. It's like, so yes, they're going to fight for the sisterhood, even though within their sisterhood scheme of things, they got their own good outcome, but they got to make excuses for other people's bad outcomes. It's sort of like how you will see a self-made person, a black man who's self-made, got it out the mud. He wasn't no bootstrap nigga. He rolled his sleeves up and figured out how to become successful, but he will make every excuse in the world for other black people who aren't being productive. Like that's a thing. It's like you don't want to just say your people are doing bad, so you make excuses and reasons, but those excuses and reasons didn't prevent you from having a good outcome. You know, that's a thing that they do. Shout out to all the Patreons. I'm definitely enjoying this stream. I like it. I might leave it up because it's a pretty good stream. However, I think I'm gonna put this one on Patreon. So if you came in late and you missed it, you might want to consider becoming a Patreon. And somebody just got deleted. All the energy talking about black women all day, but no energy figuring out how black men can compete with other races. We just did a stream on that. But this is a YouTube channel that has a theme, a topic, a point, and things that it talk about and that it discusses. So you don't go to a YouTube channel about skateboarding and say, why aren't y'all talking about how to start businesses? Like that's just this the YouTube channel is about what the YouTube channel is about. But I do make it a point to try to be have as many educational, enlightening topics and information, even within the topic. Even when we're talking about something else, we still will put in some informative stuff. YouTube has to be entertaining. It's called to entertain, educate, entertain, and enlighten. Somebody, I forgot how that phrase goes. And the good channels on Black YouTube tend to do that. They tend to be entertaining, but also informative and enlightening. So that was just a derail tactic, basically saying, I don't like what you're saying. Could you please just shut up? That's all that was. Yeah, Pablo. ESPN, all they talk about is sports all day. Why aren't they talking about movies? And there's YouTube channels that talk about movies. Well, why aren't they talking about children starving in Africa? There are YouTube channels that talk about children starving in Africa. Well, why aren't they talking about how to reduce colon cancer? Kadat Shaya, on a serious note, she is way out of pocket for talking about sex with another man while being a married woman. Other cultures wouldn't tolerate that. Agreed. That was something that I pointed out right from the start. Absolutely. All right, let's move it on forward. Do men value sexual mileage in potential wives?
Never have, never will. What we value is the lowest body count possible, along with some other things.
Well, I'm saying experience.
We're willing to deal with the dead fish as long as you're willing and have the capacity to learn.
Okay, when I'm saying experience, I'm not saying that you get that experience through multiple people. I'm not saying that's the only way that you can do that. Because to your point.
Then she just lost her previous argument. That was a concession of defeat. If she's saying that experience matters, but you don't have to get that experience through many people, then everything she just said before, she just conceded defeat, that it was BS. So I like that, but it's like they don't admit that they was wrong. They just pivot and just keep going. They just relocate the goalposts. they turn into goalposts. Yeah, and she's definitely moving the goalposts. Yes, I found a goalpost. I found somebody physically moving a goalpost. That will get used on this show. When I catch somebody moving a goalpost, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna. But yeah, there's some goalpost movement going on.
Lots of people have been having trash sex for years now, and they don't even know they're having trash sex because that's just been the normal thing in their life. And people don't communicate with their sexual partners when they aren't pleased, especially women. Women don't do a good job of saying like, hey, like, because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. So then he goes on to the next person and it's just like bad being passed around.
Yeah.
And same thing, men don't need you to do much. Like if we think about like the act, like yes, can you get it done regardless of what her level of expertise is? Yes.
Yes.
But if you want that to be a fulfilling and like one of your favorite parts of your relationship, then yes, you do need to work on that. And I'm going to go a step further and say that a person that has more experiences, and that doesn't have to be with multiple partners, that could be with the same partner, like you had a long-term partner and you were able to explore that, are going to be better prepared to give you what you want in that realm. Not saying that that's the end all be all to be married. I'm not saying like, yeah, you got to go out and know everything about sex, and the more people you sleep with, the more informed you will be. Because again, you could have bad experience with multiple partners.
Yes.
But I don't think you should be like, hey, this girl, before she met me, this is what she did. So that means that she's damaged goods, or that she is worth less than a woman that didn't have sex.
And
the circle is complete if they can somehow convince us that they need to be the ones sexually experienced to show up to a relationship, a long-term relationship heading towards a marriage. They need to be the ones that show up sexually experienced so they can teach us. If they can convince men that that's a good idea, which I've seen at least 2 or 3 videos where women have been trying to sell that idea. If they can, the circle is complete. Once they do that, they can claim full victory if they can do that. Whereas and they know in a relationship that they're going to actually respect, they would prefer the man to show up with more experience than them. They don't. I ain't even got to excel that one. Like, come on. Either equal experience, or if somebody has to have more, they would rather that man. They would rather that man have more. They would rather be the student and not the teacher, because they don't respect the man if they're in that superior state over that guy. A guy who hasn't had a lot of sex, no woman just says, ooh, that's making me want to have sex with him. Now, they're attracted to a guy who they know can get a lot of sex, but if he has a laid back, if he can give off an energy that he ain't pressed, that will make them want it more. I do agree with that one, but in general, no.
Mind, the higher the body count, the less valuable.
But why is that?
Because men are conquerors. We're highly competitive. We don't want what has already been conquered.
But couldn't you be competitive in saying like I was the one to bag her out of all of these people?
I think there's a multitude of factors within that, right? Like if you live in the same geographical place as when the place where she was conquered, it is less likely that the man will be able to get over going into an establishment and seeing all the other dudes that are in the establishment that have done conquered that island. But you brought up
It was made into one of the greatest horror movies of all time, and then you find out that it's real.
Oops, I just did something goofy. Hold on.
Very good point. I wanted to touch on real.
Hold on. Damn it. How did I do that? I messed up big time. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm having some technical issues. Not that bad. But yeah, she said that should you view or think that, okay, let me see if this person needs to get timed out. You should have enlightening topics on black men getting from the bottom of the. We just had a topic on that. Like literally the last live stream that's up. Like you about to get blocked because at this point you're just not listening. You should have enlightening topics on black men getting from the bottom of the economic totem pole every day. Please don't stop. Your cries about black women is actually entertaining. Black men here, guys. But okay, we can send this person on their way. Y'all can punt, pass, and kick her up out of here indefinitely. Well, no, block her. Because I say punt, pass, and kick somebody out when, I mean, that normally means time them out to infinity and beyond. But at this point, yeah, just you can be hidden. You can be hidden. You come into a YouTube channel telling somebody what their YouTube channel should be about. That's just silly. There are plenty of black people that have YouTube channels about that. And there are plenty of black men that listen to YouTube channels about that. There are channels infinitely bigger than mine where they do talk about finance and all kinds of stuff. Finance, business. Yeah. Go type into YouTube TJ the Millionaire. Please go do that. Channel infinitely bigger than mine. I'll never be successful. Probably will never be successful as this guy. And he's given a wealth of knowledge over there. Please go check him out. Go subscribe to him. Super chat him. Give him all your support. Number 16, not trying to pay full price for heavily used goods. Oh, I got to write that down, TJ Hutch, get a spin move sound. Oh, I already know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to get a short clip of somebody on the court doing a mean spin move. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But she's saying that should you feel like you did something great, this woman who was hoeing around with every damn body, if you're the one who bagged her, if you're the one that was able to get her and lock her down, no, like you see how like she's projecting, because that's how women view men. That guy who was just the playboy that all the women want, all the men wanted to be, that one woman that was bad enough to take him off the market, she walking around with a feather in her cap. But that guy, who I'm using air quotes here, bad enough to take the town hoe off the market, he ain't walking around with a feather in his cap. He just walking around looking like an idiot. He just because he's riding the squeaky bike that everybody done rode on. Like, what the hell? There's differences between men and women, and they are fighting tooth and nail to try to equalize it, to try to make it the same. But no, there's differences, and we respect the differences. We respect the differences. Okay, let me fix my fuck up. Hold on.
Quick. It was within the idea of how does the said person know that they're not experiencing good intercourse? Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question. If you
to that one, I do believe that if there's an itch not being scratched, I think you understand that itch is not being scratched. You understand how and where it could get better. And also with the invention of porn, whatever weird fetish that you have or didn't even know that you had, you will eventually encounter it. So I don't even think that's as much of a problem today. I think people are able to figure out what they like and how they like it.
You took a... Well, I'm thirsty. Look at the pinky.
Look at... I'm weak.
I'm bougie. Anyway, if you took a person from 18...
Bougie with the red cup. It doesn't go together. It doesn't go together.
That's my own style. Anyway, if you took a person from 1850 and you brought them into 2021... Well, how about this? If you took a person in 1850 and you asked them about their life, do you think that on average the person would say, I have an enjoyable life or not an enjoyable life?
If you ask white men at any point in time, they will have an enjoyable life.
Patriarchy.
If you took that same 1850 human and you brought them, or if you take a person in 2021 and you brought them to 1850, would you think that person would say, I now have an enjoyable life or not an enjoyable life? Not an enjoyable life. So the analogy that I'm trying to wrap around here is sometimes it's okay not to know what you don't know, right? Us in 2021, we have enjoyable lives. But if we were raised in 3021, we'd look back at 2021 like these goddamn dirty Neanderthals. Look at it. They walked places. Like they didn't just teleport like us. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so I might really be feeling that.
So I feel you, but at the same time, I think the analogy still prevails in the sense that, like, if it right.
All right, Black Savant says something interesting here. He says, "Nah, I disagree there, Bernard Riley. There's plenty of stories where women were in marriages, got divorced, realized they weren't having the best sex ever in their marriage after they found a new dude." No, I generally agree with that. That's why I say I think they. Okay, no, I get where you're disagreeing with me. I think that they were not enjoying, like, I've talked to women that said they were in long relationships with men who they didn't enjoy the sex, and they had limited partners and limited experience, so they just thought this was sex was. They thought that I don't want to mention my woman again, because she could be lying through her teeth, but she said that she used to think that they were faking it in movies, and in movies when they're acting like they're just so into the sex, she just thought that was just fake. She didn't know that that was actually a thing until she met me. Not just playing, but well, not really just playing, but yeah, but no, but she just thought that that was just a bunch of bull, and so she just didn't enjoy sex, and and so there are some women, that's how they will develop an ideology that sex is not all that enjoyable to them because they haven't had a partner that was really good. So they will say, well, if sex is not going to be that enjoyable, put it like this. Those women who talk about sex as if it's a chore, as if it's something that they're giving to a man and not something that they're both doing and both enjoying. They talk about it purely like it's something that they're going to be giving to a man. And so they feel like in exchange for that relationship, this thing that they're giving this man that they don't really enjoy, is coming in exchange for his commitment and relationship and emotional stuff. So when you find a woman talking like that, that's probably that type of woman that you're talking about, that was either married or in a long-term relationship with somebody who was not hitting that spot. But I think they do understand that there's a spot not being hit, if you follow what I'm saying. But interesting comment. However, but either way, I think the general point that men have stands strong, that if that guy show up experienced or just good at sex, then yes, he can teach that woman a thing or two. But the guy is pretty much more set in his, like, sex is simple for us. Yeah, we all have our own little sexual kink and fetishes and things that we like, or this or that or blah blah blah. Yeah, we get it. We get that. But at the end of the day, it's like we we don't need her to show up that damn experienced. We just don't. So I mean, that's why this is just a long-winded argument for why men should push. I want to make it clear that I'm not just saying hoes are bad. These hoes are bad. Fuck these hoes. These hoes ain't shit. Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. And we don't like women to have sex. That's not what I'm getting at here. What I'm talking about is the fact that she is trying to make a long-winded case as to why we should find even more value in the hoe. That's what I'm pushing back. Like I say, when I do Bernard Riley reviews, I attack ideas and not people. That's what I'm attacking here. Is not that, oh, these hoes are hoes. No, that's not what's going on here. I want to make that very clear. It's the attempt and what's happening in womanist thought and feminist thought, and the whole ideology of it all is that they're trying to convince us that that hoe brings more value or should have higher value than a virgin or a woman who's had limited sexual experiences. So it's the ideals, the ideas, the ideology that she's trying to sell. And if she's selling it here, I mean, I know she's not alone. I don't think she conjured up all this by herself. because she's clearly has a lot of feminist ideas, because she don't even like the term "lost my virginity," "gave my virginity away." She don't even like that. So I mean, clearly she's there's some ground level teaching that's taking place. There's some ground level teaching that's taking place where they're coming up with these ideas, and then they're trying to put them out into the ether to try to inception the minds of impressionable men to believe that they should see the whole as equally valuable, or no, more valuable than the virgin. More valuable than the virgin. Because she can teach you some things, boy. Like that's why I found this conversation extremely interesting. Extremely interesting.
And I think that also speaks back to the study that I was talking about earlier, because if your expectations for life are here, but you have experienced before in your life here, because of the Chads, Tyrones blew the black completely out, but now you're expecting to blow the black out from someone who you want to marry.
I'm about to pull the Donovan Sharp body language pausing thing, even though I don't think that's an exact science, but it is fun. But watch this when he talked about Chad, Tyrone, and blowing the back out. Just watch her face.
If your expectations for life are here, but you have experienced before in your life,
she's gonna start thinking about it.
Here, because of the Chads, Tyrones blew the black completely out, but now you're expecting.
It was like a brief moment where she like looked away, like you.
Chads, Tyrones blew the black completely out, but now you.
It's like. It's like you can see it in her face. She's like she's reminiscing, thinking about it. Like oh yeah, yeah. It's like she stopped for a second to reflect. Oh yeah, he has a point there. They definitely was blowing the back out.
You're expecting to blow the back out from someone who you want to marry somehow. I think that the prior expectations might reign negatively on this unnatural bond of marriage that goes to the rest of someone's life. Because now you're telling somebody, okay, you got the guts sufficiently dug out by these 6'2", 6-pack.
Watching her face.
6 this, 6 that human being. But now you're settling, or you're more appropriately establishing your value for Jacob over here. And Jacob may not have the experience and or the accolades of the backbreakers that you've experienced before, the hip rearrangers that you've experienced before in your life. But you like them and you're thinking about eloping with them. And I think that when you change people's expectations on reality, they go forward in life and they expect those realities.
Yeah. So I think it depends on what's important to you, right? So stand on what is important to you in a partnership. So
low body count, it's important to me.
Okay, then you stand on that. But again, you just have to like rewire your mind. It's like, is a low body count important to me?
It's funny she said rewire your mind, where I think a lot of what she's been trying to do in this presentation is ultimately rewire the mind of men. She's been trying to rewire the mind of men. Interesting. She's trying to rewire our minds to view the hoe as more valuable than the non-hoe.
Me, because I feel like that literally tells me that this woman is worth less, or is it because of my mind and my ego, my conqueror mindset, that it's like I would just feel better knowing that really it's mainly just me that has been with her. To your point, you don't know what you don't know. So why are you asking those questions? Like, yes, you want to make sure that you're safe, right? That you can have those questions like, when was the last time you've been tested? All these things, so that you're moving forward in a safe capacity. But why do you even need to know my body count? If I'm feeling you and you feeling me, like it doesn't matter.
I'm not saying that you need to know. What I'm saying is that you could tell from how they carry themselves on occasion. I mean, sometimes they can completely hide it, like without a doubt.
What do you think my body count is, by the way?
No, I don't.
Answer it. Answer it. Answer the question, MTR. Look her right in the eyes and tell her what it is.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how can you literally tell? Because some
He should have said 75 and just gave her a straight stare, no blinking, and just watched her reaction.
Women based on like
No. I agree with you.
Some people
they switch up.
And some people you think are like super promiscuous, and it's not them. And then the people
Usually
that you
right.
think are the virgins
are not the church girls.
So
yes,
so,
no,
yeah,
I agree with
so
you.
You can't assume, right? But
if you live in the same block in the same area, the same geographic, then you absolutely know.
There's whole facts, but that's different.
Exactly.
That's different. But then we're talking about optics, because I can have a high body count, and if I was discreet and discerning with who I decided to do that with, the world would never know.
I agree with you.
And that's the reason they lie and that they're covert, which is understandable. I mean, that's, oh man. This is pretty much it. This ends at the 22-minute and 30-second mark, and it's 21:36 in right now. One definite takeaway. Well, I've given my opinion, my broad opinion on this, but just the last little part of what she said is something that I've always said all the time, is that yes, the idea is to not carry yourself like that. Like, you can go and have your fun. Men generally are not going to know unless you have a reputation that precedes you, that follows you. I mean, you out there getting it in. If you don't get knocked up, you don't show up with a trail of babies crawling behind you, and you present yourself well, and your social media not ratchet, and you act like you got some damn sense, yeah, your future husband is not going to know that you got ran through by the whole football team in the locker room. Nobody's going to know. How will they know? Nobody's going to know. So yeah, if you can hide the stench of all of that, then yeah, you're good. But that's not enough. No, they don't want to just hide the stench of it. No, they want to do it loud and proud, want you to know it and accept it, and find more value in them than what you would find in a woman who didn't do all of that. That's what they're arguing for here. And that's where it is just batshit crazy. Batshit crazy. But shout out to MT Soul. MT Soul in the building with the $5 super. Shout out to you. Appreciate that. MT Soul in the building. He says if they had full control, if they had full control in the bedroom, there would be a lot of hold up. There will be a lot of strap-ons in speak for yourself. They have full control in the bedroom. There'll be a lot of strap-ons in our sex lives. They're sadistic like that. Man, go. Man, go. And I appreciate the super chat. But you can go on with that one. You can go on with that one. And shout out to Lim Hendricks. Let me make sure I get this right. Damn, Bitcoin did it hit 65 when I was asleep? It damn near hit 65 when I was asleep. It was at 64,600. Yeah, I got me. 64,640, something like that. Wait, no, that's what it's at now. Hold on. Wait, no. It's at 63 now. So yeah, it was at 64,600. So yeah, Bitcoin went ham overnight. So I like how that's looking. Mr. Negative, the negative man says, hiding your body count only feeds into the patriarchy, ladies. Tell him your real number and make him accept it and destroy the patriarchy. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. That was a good summation. That was absolutely a good summation. Now, I'm pretty much done here. I'm pretty much done. That's pretty much all she wrote here. I'm going to. There was a image of what I believe is her lovely husband to be at the end of this video, so I'm going to show that because a lot of you would like to see that.
Which is why. Questions, comments, concerns, y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. Feel free to hit me up. I got an Instagram. Feel free to go up there and send me content, okay? And as well as I have a Patreon, all right? The Patreon is fantastic. Till next time, YouTube.
I go back to what I said about
a Patreon. All right, the Patreon is.
I hope that my woman know that you don't let a man just lean back and lay into your personal space, into your bubble like that on national TV.
Fantastic.
Look at that.
Till next time, YouTube.
Yeah. But I think that's her, and I think that's the lucky gentleman right there who's married. I believe that's her, and I believe that's the lucky gentleman who's married to the card-carrying feminist. I wish them the best, hope them a happy marriage and lots of children and beautiful babies that they will raise, and yeah, all of that. Shout out to them. But give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. I'm struggling bad.
Let me guess.
Struggling bad. Hold on. I'm trying to stop the screen share. And hold on. I'm having little errors. Give me 1 second so I can hold on. All right. But man, that was a good conversation, at least to me, because like I said, I'm not about just saying, look at these hoes dumb. I like to really analyze ideas. And when I hear somebody pushing ideas that are different, that sound like, wait a minute, is she literally trying to argue that hoes men should view a sexually experienced woman as more valuable than a virgin? And then I juxtapose that and look at that with comparing it with a previous video that I've been finding these videos where women are on their media platforms pushing for this idea and this notion. And like I said earlier in the stream, somebody 40 years ago, 50 years ago had the idea that, hey, we need to live in a world where children can choose their gender. Somebody had that idea some 50, 40 years ago, and now look at the world we live in now. So I like to analyze ideas, especially if I see new ideas at the ground floor starting to get a little traction. You wonder, where is it going to go? How far is it going to go? You know, the whole homosexual agenda, the LGBTQRS agenda, somebody had those ideas decades ago. They put those ideas out there, put them out into the media. They not infiltrated because, it's not exactly an infiltration, but infiltrated institutions of higher learning and education, and people, with their ideology, put their ideas out there. They smuggled some things into the curriculum. They did this, they did that. And, And ultimately it panned out. That's why I see value in what the manosphere is talking about, even though some people would argue that it's pointless. But I see value in it because this is our own little ground floor of putting the ideas out there, increasing the probability that there will be more people with our ideology, which means there will be more people with our ideology that are lawyers. Shout out to the lead attorney. There'll be more people with our ideology that are judges, that are, I was going to say social workers, but I just watched the episode of the lead attorney where he was talking about how a social worker made a point that the dad, if he cheated on the mom, that shows that he's not a good father. He shouldn't get 50-50 custody. And that social worker is somebody who talks and gives recommendations to the judge. So her bias is affecting family after family after family. He went off. He blew a gasket on that. It was a real good episode. But that's what it looks like when ideas are put out there into the ether and they infect more people. They grow like a meme, and those people become regular people that become police chiefs, that become social workers, that become lawyers, that become this, that become that. So when it comes to breaking down ideas, you got to look at it. When you see stuff like that on a stream, when you see women walking around with those ideas and also walking around with a feminist ideology, those ideas are coming from somewhere, and they're just casually saying those ideas on streams. I mean, everybody involved isn't just some diabolical a cat rubbing on a cat with some diabolical plan, some mustache twirling Bond villain. No, but what I'm just simply saying is that you got to pay attention to the ideas that people put out there, that they put into the ether, that they try to sell, and that's why the importance of us selling our ideas. That's why the importance of, look at Kevin Samuels red pilling the earth with how big his channel is going. But yeah, so yeah, that was definitely an interesting conversation. Definitely an interesting conversation. And speaking of all of that, I gotta look at Eric Jackson's sub count. He is at 723K. And Kevin Samuels is at 679K. He gaining on him. That's going to be a day, ain't it, when Kevin Samuels officially pass Derek Jackson. That's going to be a day right there. Charles Merchant in the building with the super chat, the $10 super chat. You know what that means? We got to drop the Acne bomb. Yeah. Shout out to Charles Merchant. He says, modern women think it's a great idea to offer a man a cream pie. Just be happy that you get sloppy seconds. Right on, right on. He says, oh Lord, enough about Derek Simpson. No, we ain't done yet. We ain't done yet. We are not done yet. The fight has only begun. The fight has only begun. No. But look, y'all, that was definitely a good video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed watching that video. Make sure you go subscribe and check out MTR. He's definitely doing a good job over there on his channel. I do like checking out his channel. It's one of my favorite ones. I don't watch every video that he dropped, but I do try to catch try to catch enough of them, because he's doing good work over there. I mentioned the lead attorney earlier. Make sure you're checking that brother out as well. But we're going to wrap this up because we almost 3 hours in. No need for a panel. And we can just wrap it on up. So I'd like to thank everybody who participated to his channel in any way, shape, or form. Everybody, everybody who came through and put 5 on it. If you put 5 on it today, I appreciate that. A few people put 10. I got to get a $20 sound effect, a $50 sound effect. I got $100 one already. I got $100. I got a lot of different sound effects. I'm going to be playing around with that a lot. But I got to save them for when it actually happens. When somebody actually do it. Like when she moved the goalpost, I played I had to play the goalpost being relocated when she tried to move the goalpost in the discussion. So I'm definitely going to be coming with that. I got a lot of different ones. So they will be dropping periodically. But look, man, thank you everybody for coming on through. And with that said, we are out of here. I got pre-recorded. Again, King DeGongo in the building with the $100 super chat. He done came through at the buzzer with a $100 super chat. Now I gotta play the $100 thing. I gotta put earbuds in. Because he done sent a $100 super chat. So that means we gotta get Smokey to help us count the money. You gotta get Smokey to help us count the money.
20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140.
That's $100.
Thank you for the $100 super chat. We had to get Smokey to help us count it out to make sure it was all there. Yeah, he done came through. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate it. King DeGongo said, I almost spat my drink. Worth it. Oh, man. Shout out, man. Shout out to you. I appreciate it. I didn't expect that. That's $100. Right on. When somebody drop $100 super chat, we gonna get Smokey to help us count it out to make sure it's all there. That's all. Oh, man. We are out of here, y'all. Peace. Appreciate you, King DeGongo. I'm fucking up your name after you done came through on the $100. King DeDongo. I'm messing up your name. But shout out. We out of here, y'all. Peace.